na free education nso nkofo abema mete pop say wo di abetum say school category A any B u be school fees masa obi antua school fees free education no akofo ado no mfaso obi ama ne so mfaso a yenya free no so free education no enti e wo say stay forever enti say NDC mo hana mu ntimi minister mo meka nkyere Ghana fo ne yensa ankoto abachina ne yempe group for from ya mu tie dia meka no say free education mu ntimi minister yi mo begigi group biska na mo be say ya mo mra meka nkyere ye ne yenye abato foforo ne yempe group for from mo mra mo po mo mpe we be stay.
21st century education is very important. I want him to share with us what his ideas are and what are some of the things that he's going to be looking out for to ensure that we have a more robust education system. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. First Deputy Speaker and Chair of the committee, leadership of the committee, and Honorable Minority Leader, members of the appointment committee, and colleagues who have had opportunity to come and solidarize. It's my honor and privilege to respond to the question posed by the just past Minister for Education on what President Mahama and the NDC intend to do with the education sector. Let me assure the Honorable former Minister that I conceive of education not just as a matter of human rights, but a powerful and key driver of development and one of the strongest instruments that can be used to reduce poverty, improve health, and ensure gender inequality. President John Dramani Mahama intends to increase investment in the education sector to respond to the infrastructure deficits of the education sector, beginning from preschool through basic primary education to free secondary school and to the tertiary level. Enormous financial investment will be made to continue with major initiative that was done. Chair, fortunately for me, this is a sector which has the best of expertise. I intend to rely on their varied experiences and expertise to guide me in the formulation of policy, the improvement of policy. But Mr. Speaker, let me assure this committee that President John Dramani Mahama has no option to cancel free senior high school. Therefore, those who listen to him, even in the course of his campaign, to have stated that he will expand free senior high school to private schools was to tell Ghanaians that as President of the Republic, he wants to give true meaning to Article 25 of the 1992 Constitution and Article 38, which spells out the objectives of our educational policy. But Chair, the important thing is that he will subject the free senior high school to a review. The review will mean subjecting it to, one, there will be a stakeholder national education forum to discuss the future and state of education in Ghana, with emphasis on the future of the free senior high school, in particular how to assure it of adequate, reliable, sustainable financing. Mr. Speaker, I do not want to, at this moment, stir controversy, but some of the numbers, Mr. Minister, as you may recall, I will validate some of the statistics to some statistical validation of those issues. So we will undertake a stakeholder forum which will involve donors and partners, involve academia, parents and students to review the free senior high school program. I should acknowledge, Pearl have noted, that it remains one of the boldest steps in wanting to transform education. It was a matter of debate between free universal education absorbing all the costs and progressively free starting with infrastructure. But President Mahama intends to undertake a comprehensive review of it to make it sustainable. President Mahama and the NDC promised free tuition for students from level 100 who would undertake normal programs in the various public universities of our country, including what he has said expanded to private tertiary institutions. They number a population for which the country will require about 345 million Ghana cedis. Of the population of students who enter tertiary institutions, that is what the state will be required to do. We intend to provide that money to the affected universities, at least one to make refund to all those who have already paid those fees.
How can you do this? This is what I eat for lunch at my boarding school in Ghana. This food is called wachi. It's made out of rice and beans, and it has plantain. Then we have gari foto, which is made out of, I think, cassava flakes. My favorite lunch is kenke. It's like fermented corn dough, kenke and pepper, shrimp, octopus. Yeah.
Uncle free SHS free and you can just share. We are not about 20 NPP. Messi on the moya and ya fekra man for boa ma papa no. No mi susa me say aden. And this by man do ye. Odundum light near the ade. It say oh, mo top our bank ni generators. Say much Germany so free education ye chim.
Doctor say what do you? Wa ha dwen ho. Wa ha dwen papa. Dey ntina me say do you ma ha dwen. In fact, the best minister that we have ever gotten in the history of the Fourth Republic in terms of education, or as far as education is concerned. You had the STEM education, TVET education, the free SHS, our Obama implemented, and some of, and never be a wire. I'm on a day to get a substitute. And I say, you be a obey, obey, or say, my education minister. I mean, in the way, no one say. Mahama said the Herna to swap back. Say, be obey mind any massy. Or pursue good any massy because Mahama who say a duchum, your friends Herna to su. A bit to me, I had next flag bearer for the new my friends at the National Democratic Congress. And to putting out a canabia, obey to my day, dear good any massy. Now so, Herna, yet I watch yet I watch. Our brother na me who na dey onyahwe yetai wachi because one na betimi as I save that sinking ship yetai wachi why bibia be fine we try our best, just do your best try na do your best why enya wa education minister na do no once we know what US onto free US na ba henti adwene ni nyina ye US wo so tisirim I said ye dey apetition to red label hono e be ne den kakra e be fa yetai wachi anko yi okra we try your best why enya hwe ya damase bebre enchen so nkoko ketekete beba nti wo mu bobu anu abobu bibia be fine.
Digitalization. To me, it's a very bad policy because you implement free SHS now. This is not the right time for the next coming government to tell us or be implementing free fees for the people coming into the university. Because right now, that's not what we need. Free SHS now, in terms of the quality they are getting in the food and then the shelter aspect, is very bad. And so why don't you channel the funds that you are coming to use for this one to the SHS level to get them that quality education that they need? Because after all, the government can't say that they be provided BBR free, they be provided BBR free. What does it mean to like they be are you spoon feeding the people? No, there should be systems like creating the jobs, and people would be able to pay their fees. Why do you want to pay the fees? Because is it because you are not creating jobs? So I think the policy is a bad one, and I don't know if they are aim is to get more votes in the elections, but right now what we need is not just about paying fees. As I buy a ship before for now, saying Juma and I say before for money, because this is a very bad policy to me.
I just have free SHS. And then da would be triam. Now, Mr. Headmasters and now I'm bill no student no common parents say school fees is in arbitria. No more part much I say a buy has paid. Family because bare 7 years say 700 this time they are saying they should give us the current rates and could be school free SHS and the boy is saying and I'll be very happy say GS bet me this way number then people will value that this amount is being paid for into we are catching GS for the current rate of obi best school are you saying because people don't see the value of it because but 7 years ago, NPP buy the free SHS from out to this time. What is the value that people fees amount for also much?
I feel last but one and I'm a person Ghana for my time so. It's me say so my class say ya be makwan. Me boa. Yeah makwan kwalani bebre amakwan ya bo be fi. Na me boa January on go school be 15th 16th mo. Yeah kwani saying still free SHS na ejinam. And now why a review?
So also a review. Lapses a woman obey
okay. Intino Nkwalano, Omo still on the Akufo-Addo plan. Popim so be any review. The review no so be any daben. Yeah, they try this academic year and all the best starting. And I university for no so first year for no so now so be any free no so you're starting a daben.
Oh you.
And also so
or say free senior high school. Abasitra ewo maimu ono ba be mampanino anya de obetwam nne atwam china na bra oye campaign kura no wankase obetwam na mum na NPP 4% Ghana fo nya otan bi ema ono ene NDC no mu tutia no tina no mu kasa ansam eye sa propaganda no na so nyame adom wa be mampani free senior high school no ebetra ho na mum ade oba ne se free senior high school NPP de buy no woman shed them ni futuo bia ya boto ho si ya de tie side bedie no achi enti ama free senior high school kra no sika bandi room ayeden na so oba be mampani no obebo futuo bia to ho no ma abri BS ka be wom ni ade abo free senior high school no ehun bra afei ubeko senior high school sumu no nkwada mbi won ma omo ba peso edan ba ko school for be se due wotwe oha no mu wo mu e ba ne se hadwen pa dormitories kwa nkwara bebre nya ba bi na bi de da form ni ade ni nyina no behwe na osia no ekwan afa aduane nkwada ni di wo school mu nyina no yese emfa pomdi mapa emre nkwada no bo akokonku apa no kura ebi nkan bi mo kenkan kwada wasi ni nyi kwan so na eso di milk no timi nyi kama no onya bi ni Jubo na kwara no watrope obeyi sanje ni nyina afiri ho ye be mankwada ni nuani ye class no meta no o meta kete wose kama said the bear omapom din sam kra no be koyi and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama President elect say free senior high school awa too
Sasema omuka say NDC ba ye be twa free SHS mo political gimmick omo de say nipa adwen Enya no kre ochina. Free SHS has come to stay. Yen difference are not a war yene MPP intem. And they say EYEKA say progressively free. And ye shall say 2015 yema day students in free SHS omuntia. And in the next year, 2016, you have boarding students, 140,000. Say, Yabema Omubezeris, HS Omuntia, and you're starting from the poorest districts. I just say, Yeshimukina, increasing the numbers. But 2016, Abano, we lost into MPP Beje, and almost they're going to start it immediately for everybody. Into almost say free for everybody. Into wa ultimate champo ubenya free. and all that. And Yaya for some 8 years now. It means say enyome B implementation and koye. And I say we'll have a national education stakeholders workshop. Now you're the education experts, you're the awofo, you're the asofo, you're the obia, everybody who is a stakeholder in education. Nia betras nia share bebia enkoye no na yaswano. Also yede nia yehune say free SHS no any dedicated source of funding. Enti sikano ko sope. Se was ye bibia ekoda Minister of Finance table so eche abra ye here sikano e dey free SHS no. Enti ye say ba will do a dedicated source of funding. Se eye eto ene be yuso se yesika ye nyafri yagodemu na ye be yibi ato saato no mu a se ne be ya emre bia se ekoba se e was here release sika for secondary schools na sika no yetimi release into number one your dedicated source of financing. Number two, abai almost centralizing feeding no into abai juma friend the national buffer stock omoni e ma omusika no mato eduane no mo dia chairman secondary schools no into do bia food contractors no to supply eduane ma buffer stock ni ntua omuka into omo yentua omuka they stop supplying into to the bia enkoda no age say old boys ye appeal e ma omo say eduane mai say ama this year to school no na old boys na koto emo ene bayre ne sardine ni ade normal omo dia begu ho enti me dem say ba say sika no yemfa ma buffer stock ye be che sika na ma schools no man kasa ukokro bia so a ejom wo ho ye ton bayre wo ho ye to gari wo ho ye ton emo wo ho ye ton enam wo ho ye ton brodo wo ho enti ye sika no be ma schools na kasa na omakoto sa nyoma no na omo de ama abeye aduane ama nkoda no eno be ma quality of food na ye better because an America showing make us say men and women of God modern monko secondary school ho no mo ankasa mo family ni nkohwe aduane aye de ma nkoda no. One of me wafase baako o se anopa emre bi no bread no milk ya de Lipton egu nsuohyem na yamom 1 cube of sugar no mo de atum hwen ka ho enti se o papa ne o mama ama o sika kakra o de beto pan no akọ e wo se wa auto o pan no e kotena dining hall now de o pan no num tea no enti we can make it better for the children.
Enti so for se we sika what do you want to secondary school for the fie because Mahama and for the time now o maye nanya o so do o nyina bobuko chance this one and the first and for my yes sacrifice and the way where we are now yes what was cano near the way raise we are what already we was na this fire by it is and no one was yes and to so your bad time not the woman we are say they don't the first no when the call now the way and one no man for pressure that Mahama so because Mahama so about the SHS no a year abroad no the 24-hour economy so and to be a stress and mama so.
He also asked me to come out clearly on my policy on free SHS. Again, he's not in this country or he has been sleeping because I have made it clear that there are implementational problems with the free SHS. One, there's no dedicated funding. Two, parents are not happy with the double track. Three, the quality of food the children are giving is not good. And so I've said that NDC is going to come and fix these three things. One, we're going to corral part of our oil revenues into a dedicated fund. And that fund will be used to finance the free SHS. That's number one. Number two, we're going to fast track the completion of our educational infrastructure so that we can ease the congestion in the schools, employ more teachers, and allow all our children to go to school at the same time instead of going on a traffic light. And Nana Akufo-Addo, 3, I said I'll change your centralized feeding system. I'm going to decentralize the feeding of our children in secondary school. The money is going to go directly to their schools. and their schools will be responsible for procuring the food to feed the children in order that the food will be better quality. If you are listening to me, that is our position on free SHS. We're going to make sure that it works better, its implementation is better, the children have access to textbooks, they have access to good facilities in their schools. We're going to provide laboratories, we're going to provide dormitories, we're going to provide administration blocks, we're going to provide dining halls, and all the things that they need to be able to make a good quality learning experience.
I go to schools upon schools and I speak with the students. And when I finish speaking with them, I'll say, do you have a question for me? No hand goes up. A hand is just to go up. In all my encounters in Ghanaian classrooms, we have tamed the children. We just want them to write down what we tell them. At the day of exams, they should put down what we have told them. We say, you are the best student the country has ever known. That kind of education system will not transform Ghana. That kind of education system is not going to give us critical thinking individuals, especially since we are in the 21st century and education 4.0, the fourth industrial revolution. You can't memorize your way out of poverty, but you can critically think and innovate out of poverty. So Ghanaian schools, Africans will have to begin to take a serious look at what I call the assertive curriculum. A curriculum that empowers the African child to ask questions and challenge the status quo respectfully within the African cultural context. But not a curriculum that tells the African child to be quiet and don't say anything when the adult is speaking.